In this video, I just want to give you a quick demo of our new NextGen Bar Prep study app. I think no matter who you are, whether you have a full NextGen Bar Review course, you're looking to add something to that, or if you're building your own self-study course for the NextGen Bar exam, I think no matter where you are in your bar prep, this is going to be a great addition. When we look at the format of the NextGen Bar exam, it's a skills-based test. And the only way you're going to improve those skills that you need to pass the NextGen Bar exam is by doing a heavy amount of practice. The more practice, I would think, is always going to be the better. And with this new app that we're launching, you're going to get 4,000 NextGen Bar exam questions in an adaptive learning format that basically spoon feeds you exactly what you need based on your strengths, weaknesses, other data points. But we can just jump into it. I want to show you how it works. So we'll move over to my laptop here so we can just jump right in and give you this demo. Okay, so I think the best place to start here is just with a big picture overview of the entire app. And then we can work through some questions and really see how this all works. Okay, so the first thing I would recognize is the three main tabs at the top. You have a skills tab, a simulations tab, and a progress tab. We're gonna break these down one by one. Let's start with the skills tab first. You'll see in your skills tab, you have three tabs here: practice, drills, and skills. Practice is going to be, in my opinion, where you should probably live the most when you're using this. It's personally my favorite part of the entire app. What this does, this tab right here, it's gonna take all of the data as you work through this and you do more and more practice questions. It's gonna learn your strengths, weaknesses. It's gonna learn why you're getting questions right, why you're getting questions wrong, and it's going to recommend your next move right here in this tab every single time you complete an assignment. So every single time you log in, there's no guesswork. If you wanna do practice, statistically maximizing your chances of passing the NextGen Bar exam, I would think the best place to come is right here on the practice tab and just click this practice button. There's literally no guesswork here. So you just come in, you hit this big giant orange practice button, and you're off to the races. You're just in, you're going. Now, we're not gonna work through this whole practice test right now, but you could. It's gonna collect that data for you and continue to adapt as your strengths and weaknesses change over time. So I would think this is where most students wanna live for the majority of the time. But if for some reason you want to practice by exam format, you just come over to the drill section. You can go by multiple choice, integrated question sets, performance tasks, these new NextGen formats. If you want to see how they work, you just come here, select the tab that you want, and you can go there. You can also come here to the skills tab. Okay, if you want to go by actual skills, you can see this is across 4,600 questions, more being added all the time, so that number could grow. But you can also create practice sets basically by skill type: legal, research, legal writing. Go through all the main skills that are going to be tested on the NextGen exam. Okay, the next tab at the top here is simulations. This is really great for, getting the exam day feel. I would think as you get closer to the exam, you're gonna wanna do some simulations. You're gonna wanna see what it feels like to sit down without any breaks and run through an entire, 3-hour set, hour and a half set. That's what the exam simulations are gonna do. It's gonna simulate exam day so you can feel what that's like. Okay, progress is really great. It's gonna show you basically as you work through more questions, how ready you are for the NextGen Bar exam based on all the data that's being inputted. My favorite is this exam readiness score. It's gonna tell you over time, as it gets more data, how ready you actually are for the NextGen. You'll see it breaks it down by different formats of the exam. You can come over here and look at actual patterns, basically what's changing over time, where points are dropping, increasing, lots of really great stuff. I would also note, if you come in here and you have questions about the data, you're not sure, another great feature is you can come over here and hit this coach button, right? And you can ask questions to the system and it'll interpret all your data for you. It has access instantly in real time to all of your data. So you can say something like, what's my biggest weakness right now? And it's gonna look through all of your data and it's gonna put that in plain English for you. I know sometimes we're trying to be lawyers, not data scientists. So going through the data and trying to look at it. Some people might like that, but if you want the easy way, you can just come to your coach right here, boom, ask it any question, and it's gonna have access to all of your data. It's gonna be able to tell you what to do next, basically. It's gonna be able to give you strengths, weaknesses. It'll break all of your statistics down in plain English for you. Another really great feature included in this. Okay, so with that, we've kind of covered the three main tabs here. Let's just run through it so you can see what this actually looks like. I want to start with some multiple choice questions. So This is assigning a performance test based on this profile, but we can come find a multiple choice question set. And so this will also show you like how you can build one. If you want to do it, you can come in with your smart session builder and do it kind of however you want, all kinds of different formats. Okay, but let's just go with the default, start practicing and see how this is. So you'll see it's just standard multiple choice. You would come in, select what you think is right. I have no idea, I'm not reading this. So we got this incorrect, okay? It's gonna tell you why it's incorrect. It's gonna tell you why each answer choice is incorrect and why the correct answer choice is correct. It's gonna give you an exam tip, basically how to think about this if you see it's tested. I find these to be super helpful. But one of the key features I wanna highlight here is the why did you miss this tab that kind of pops up here. A cool thing about this system, and I think what really separates it from a lot of other apps that might be out there with NextGen practice questions, is it's not only going to measure why you got things right or wrong or what you got right and wrong, it's going to tell you, it's going to learn, I should say, why you got those questions right and wrong, because you're going to tell it. When you miss questions, you're going to explain why you missed it. And that prevents false positives and false negatives from entering the data set, because it's possible a student might know what the law is on a certain question, but you just misread the call of the question. Okay, and if the system doesn't know that, it might think, oh, this person got this wrong. They don't know what the law is here. But that might not necessarily be true. So that can introduce false positives, false negatives into the data set. So by telling the system why you're getting things right and wrong, it's going to prevent those. It's going to get better data in, the better your recommendations are going to be when it's assigning what you should do next. So it's a very powerful feature. You don't want to skip these if you have the time to do it. Okay, so we can just end the practice here. Obviously, this will tell you how you did during your session. You can go through it, you can do it again. Okay, let's go through a actual performance test though. I want to find the one I did. I actually wrote an answer because I want to show you how this works. I think it's really cool. So if we come over to skills and let's do like a performance test. I believe this is the one I did. Let's go start task. Let's see if I still have it copied. I was lucky, we did. Looks like some of my formatting got off. Okay, so this is the answer I wrote for this performance test. So a really cool thing is it's gonna give you feedback in real time. You know, I know a lot of times with other systems, you have to submit something and it takes a long time to get your feedback, you know, and a lot of times what happens is like you submit something, you do it, and then you have to wait like a week to get feedback and you've like already forgotten what the question was even about. And you like have to relearn it to understand the feedback you got. That's no problem here because literally when you click submit, it's gonna evaluate your response and usually in like 30 seconds, you're gonna get a full breakdown. So I'm gonna pause this for a second and let the system think. Again, this should take about 30 seconds. Maybe I can yap a little bit as it goes here. Would be pretty crazy if I have not checked this. It's creating my response. Imagine I tank this. If I tank it, I'll probably re-record the video and submit something better, but we'll see how I did here. It's still going. Okay, I'm gonna pause it and just wait for this to finish. I'll let you know how long it took. Okay, so it just finished grading. Thankfully, I did pretty well, got an 8 out of 8 here, but you can see, you know, and I think this actually took about 50 seconds. So sometimes it goes faster, sometimes maybe, usually less than a minute though. Bottom line is though, look at the feedback you get. You're gonna get your strengths, your weaknesses, and overall grade. It goes through, it shows you everything in your submission, color coded by basically issue, rule, application, conclusion. It's very, very well done. I really do love all the feedback. I've submitted several of these. I've kind of myself tested different things, intentionally writing things I know are kind of wrong, and it mostly catches everything. So I really think that's another one of the things, the ability to get instant feedback on all of your writing that I think is just really great about this system. Okay, but those are the main features I really wanted to show in this demo. I hope you really liked it. Definitely, again, no matter who you are, this is something I think if you already have a full course or you're doing your own self-study work, whatever it is, I think this is always going to be a great addition because the NextGen bar exam is a skills-based test. The more practice you do, the more likely you are going to pass the NextGen bar exam. And I think this is one of the best ways you can do it. But definitely one of the most efficient with all of the data tracking that's going on here under the hood. Again, though, thank you for watching this demo. I hope it was informative. And as always, I'll catch you at our next video.